is the universal language of kindness, said William Arthur Watt. To extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed dignitaries, distinguished guests, and all the participants gathered here today, it's my privilege to invite Dr. Hemlata N. to deliver the welcome address.
Respected Chief Guest, Professor Aloyius, Professor, Department of Information and Communication Science, Sofia University, President of the Function, Registrar of St. Aloyius University, Dr. Organises, Director, Reverend Dr. Father Kiran Koth S.J., Dr. Sri Kumar, Conference Chair, Dr. Rakesh Kumar, one of the conveners, Dr. Roshan, Assistant Director, Hostel. Dear colleagues, non-teaching staff, technical and support team, participants, and my dear students, a very good morning to each one of you present today. I feel so happy and elated that we are hosting the 2 days international conference on artificial intelligence in healthcare, ICAIH 2025, in association with Springer. You know, AI is transforming healthcare in multiple ways, enhancing efficiency, accuracy, and patient outcomes. AI is reshaping the landscape of medicine, diagnostics, treatment, and patient care. This conference is a testament to the remarkable strides AI has made in revolutionizing the healthcare industry. Hence, the objectives of this conference to encourage interdisciplinary research and promote the usage of AI in the area of medicine. Research promotes a conference is more than just an exchange of ideas. It serves as a platform for innovation, transforming concepts into action, and paving the way for better opportunities and advancements. Conferences bring together people from different areas who share a common discipline or field, and they also provide opportunities to meet new people in our field. It may also expand our knowledge and find solutions to different research problems. In this conference also, we have people from different disciplines and also from different parts of the world like US, Japan, Vietnam, Oman, Saudi Arabia, etc. We are delighted to host this diverse group of professionals and researchers from across the world. Presenting ideas in the form of research paper in a forum like this will make us more confident about the work that we do and also give new perspective about our work. Attending our conference also has multitude of advantages like increasing networking opportunities, expanded knowledge, skill development, diverse perspectives, where diversity may foster a rich exchange of ideas, encouraging fresh perspectives and innovative thinking. Over the next 2 days, we will hear from renowned experts who will shed light on the latest developments, challenges, and ethical consideration in AI-driven healthcare. As we embark on these 2 days of presentations, I encourage each participant to take full advantage of this opportunity, engage actively in sessions, and share your insights. Together, we can create a vibrant ecosystem of learning and collaboration that drives real-world impact. It is my honor and privilege to welcome you all to the first International Conference on Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare in association with Springer. Our chief guest for today is Professor Dr. Organises, who has a specialization in the field of AI and related technology. Gonsalves AI Lab in Sofia University is involved in developing indoor delivery robot and extension of autonomous vehicles and drones, etc. We are really fortunate to have such a great academician as chief guest and keynote speaker for our international conference. We, the conveners, are really thankful to Dr. Tad for agreeing to come all the way from Japan. On behalf of the University and Organises Committee, I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Tad to this conference. A warm welcome to you, sir. Dr. Organises, the Registrar of St. Aloyius University, is the president of today's program. He is a renowned researcher in chemistry and has published many articles and patents in this Director of AIMIT, is a source of inspiration for all the teachers and students. He promotes a culture of research at AIMIT by developing a research vision. He always encourages faculty and students to engage in research activities. This conference may not have happened without his support. A warm welcome to you, Father. This kind of conference may not happen in a day. Advanced planning and execution of activities is required for hosting such conferences. Here we have a person, Dr. Sri Kumar, Conference Chair and Professor from Nagpur Institute of Technology and Engineering, Modavigri, and an expert who was behind all this and was helping us in every step of execution. He is also a recognized research scholar. On behalf of St. Aloyius Deemed University, I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Sri Kumar to this conference. A warm welcome to you. Dr. Damavendra Ramachandra, Conference Chair and Professor, Department of Information Security and Communication, NTNU, Norway, couldn't participate in this program. But he has promised that he will definitely visit our campus during his visit to India. A warm welcome to him in his absence. A very warm welcome goes to all participants online and offline from various institutions around the world who have shown their interest in participating in this conference. I enthusiastically welcome all the students also for participating in this conference. A special word of appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Rakesh, another convener of this conference, whose meticulous planning in every step helped us in making today's event happen. I am very happy to invite him to this program. Team spirit, hard work and dedication from all my dear colleagues have contributed greatly in making this event happen. We, the conveners, are thankful to each of them for their effort and support. Thank you to all and also a warm welcome to all my colleagues. I also would like to thank Union Bank of India, Hampelpeta branch, who have given sponsorship for this conference. I wholeheartedly thank and welcome people from Union Bank who have indirectly supported us. Last but not the least, I take this opportunity to welcome my dear students, non-teaching staff and system administrator to this conference. Welcome, Anna. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, and a warm welcome to you too. International Conference in Artificial Intelligence and Healthcare is a conference through which groundbreaking innovations and exploration will take place in the next 2 days. To throw more light on the significance of the conference, may I now request Dr. Sri Kumar, the conference chair, to take over. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Dr. Kiran Kutta, Professor Ted Gonzalez, Dr. Ronald Nazareth, and Dr. Rakesh, and Dr. Hemalata. So, seeking blessing from all the participants. So, we are going to inaugurate this particular conference. So now, see, Apurva Kopi Koshoyam Vidyate Tava Bharati Leyato Vruddhi Mayati Kshaya Mayati Sanchayat. O God, O Almighty, you have enough wisdom and you shared that wisdom to us. And if we keep the wisdom with us, it will die with us. And if we distribute the wisdom, this wisdom will go around. So that is why this particular conference, that particular word inspired us to make a platform like this. In the conference, actually everybody will come and share their knowledge and get more insight into the different areas. Initially we thought this particular conference should be offline. And see, for this conference we were working together from 2 years, I think. So initially the conference, when we submitted the proposal, it was rejected actually. Then rework, we have done the rework. After that, we have decided we will go for, it's actually a risk to go for a particular domain. If you take only healthcare, how many people, how many university conducted only a particular domain? And we have already, we have decided the title, let us go for healthcare, let us see what will happen. We were expecting only around 30 to 50 good papers. And it is a challenging task for us when we keep this particular conference in offline mode. There may be a chance that we may get a very limited papers. That is why we thought let us go for online this time, and when you go for the second time, we will make it a compulsory offline. The concept of the conference is different from the international journals. Conference is the venue where we all come together and share our knowledge and spread the knowledge to different part of the world. So that is why we are here to share our knowledge, and we participate and get so many informations. And I have to thank Dr. Hemalata for her support, and Dr. If I forget to tell the name of Dr. Rakesh and Dr. Rogan, it is wrong actually. So these people, Dr. Hemalata, actually I was discussing with our director. So I told her, so she is a parallel processor. So I told her, it's not a CPU. It's a GPU. Okay, you all know this cycle stealing. All of you know DMA cycle stealing. Like this GPU is a parallel processing actually, virtual machine. Over the virtual machine, you can put any number of operating systems. How many operating systems are working together? That is what I am wondering. Such a wonderful person is a deal for you. And Dr. Rakesh is a support in each and every moment. And Dr. Robin, see, all the sessions and everything was done by him and the technical committee. And Dr. Santosh, I think Dr. Santosh, yes. So I have not seen these people before, actually. Rakesh and Dr. Your director, I am meeting them first time. Santosh also I didn't see actually. But I am getting all the information about it. Your director support is the main thing. Without the director support, you couldn't have conducted this. Hemalata madam was updating me each and every moment. Whatever happening with respect to this conference. And we were sitting together, so online for the past 3 days to finalize the things. Okay, now see, seeking blessing from all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais and all the participants who are present here, and all the keynote speakers and the session chairs and all inaugurated this conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. We are honored to have Professor Aloyius, an eminent personality with us today as a chief guest. To introduce him formally, I now invite Dr. Ruben onto the stage.
Dear participants, good morning, both online and offline of this international conference on AI and healthcare. I consider it a deep privilege and a joy to introduce Professor Aloyius to all of you. Aloyius received his master's degree in astrophysics from Pune University, followed by which his PhD degree was in information systems from Sophia University, Tokyo, Japan. Currently, he is a full professor with the Department of Information and Communication Sciences, Faculty and Science of Technology, Sophia University. He has published over 100 papers in international conferences and journals, and he is also an author of the book Artificial Introduction and Non-Technical Introduction, and a co-author of Artificial Intelligence for Business Optimization, Research and Application, published by CRC Press, London 2021. His research interests include bio-inspired optimization techniques and the applications of deep learning techniques to diverse problems such as autonomous driving, drones, business, digital art and music, computational linguistics, and healthcare. His research laboratory in Tokyo caters to Japanese and international students, specializes in applications of deep learning and multi-GPU computing. Of late, Professor Gonsalves has further widened his research areas to include effective computing and AI ethics. So let us put our hands together even as we welcome our professor for this chief guest address. Thanks, Sensei. I now request you to kindly come forward and address this gathering.
Honorable guests, distinguished researchers, healthcare professionals, esteemed delegates, and my dear students. It is both a privilege and an honor to stand before you today at this distinguished gathering, the International Conference on Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare. This conference is a testament to the power of technology and its immense potential in revolutionizing healthcare. We are witnessing a defining moment where artificial intelligence, AI, is reshaping the way we diagnose, treat, and manage diseases, thereby improving human lives worldwide. AI has made tremendous strides in healthcare, offering innovative solutions to some of the most pressing challenges in the medical field. From early disease detection and predictive analytics to robotic surgeries and personalized medicine, AI is redefining traditional healthcare paradigms. AI now assists doctors in diagnosing diseases with remarkable accuracy and helps streamline administrative processes, reducing the burden on healthcare professionals. However, as we embrace these advancements, we must also address the ethical challenges that come with them. AI in healthcare must be deployed responsibly, ensuring data privacy, algorithmic transparency, and unbiased decision-making. It is imperative to strike a balance between innovation and ethical considerations, fostering an ecosystem where technology serves humanity while upholding medical ethics and patient rights. Collaboration is the key to unlocking AI's full potential in healthcare. The convergence of medical professionals, technologists, policymakers, and researchers at this conference is a significant step toward building a future where AI complements human expertise rather than replacing it. by fostering interdisciplinary dialogue, sharing knowledge and encouraging research, we can ensure that AI-driven healthcare remains patient-centric, inclusive and effective. In conclusion, let us seize this opportunity to explore new frontiers, challenge existing boundaries, and work together to harness the power of AI for the betterment of global healthcare. The future is bright, and with collective effort, AI will continue to serve as a catalyst for positive change, ultimately saving lives and enhancing the quality of human care worldwide. Thank you, and I wish you all a productive and insightful conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your visionary address in the field of AI. These insights will definitely contribute towards effective transformation of AI in healthcare. The words, great leaders inspire action and empower innovation, holds true for none other than our esteemed director, Dr. Father Kiran Kota SG. Through his visionary leadership and unwavering commitment, he continues to foster excellence, innovation and growth in every endeavor. It's an honor to invite Dr. Father Kiran Kota SJ, our esteemed director, to share his thoughts with us.
Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Aloyius, Professor of Information and Communication Department, Sophia University, Tokyo, Japan. Dr. Ronald Nazareth, Registrar of St. Aloyius University. Dr. Shri Kumar, Conference Chair. The conveners of today's international conference, Dr. Hemalata and Dr. Rakesh. We have Dr. Rino and the other scholars from Sophia University here from Japan, Father Ocean, dear faculty and my dear students and the participants and the researchers on and offline. Good morning to all of you. With great pleasure and excitement, I welcome all the researchers and various participants from various institutions to the International Conference on Artificial Intelligence in Healthcare, which is being held in association with Springer at St. Aloyius University AIMIT Center. Since many of our researchers and participants are online, more than 5 countries, the research scholars are there with us here. So I just want to give a brief information about St. Aloyius University. This St. Aloyius College was established in 1880. Now, St. Aloyius College has become deemed to be a university, prides itself in its history of more than 145 years. Despite its status as a minority institution, the college has imparted high quality education to all sections of the society, regardless of caste, color, creed, or religion. The motto of the university, I hope our students know, the Lucet et Arde, which means shine to enkindle, has inspired countless students to become men and women for and with others, and thus bring light and joy into the lives of people. It is for this reason that Jesuit education has become a touchstone for evolving new paradigms in higher education. And coming to this campus is offshoot of main campus, St. Aloyius University. This was started in 2008, and this is St. Aloyius Institute of Management and Technology. There are 2 professional courses that we have here, MBA and IT. And here we have the experienced faculty in the IT and management field we have always believed in the power of continuous learning and professional development. So dear friends, right now I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled to see such a diverse and accomplished group of researchers who are on and offline, and participants from national as well as international are on to present transformative potential of artificial intelligence in revolutionizing healthcare. The intersection of AI and healthcare is rapidly evolving, offering unprecedented opportunities to improve people's lives, enhance diagnostic accuracy, streamline clinical workflows, and personalize treatment strategies. AI has the potential to revolutionize every aspect of healthcare, from robotic systems that aid in intricate strategies and surgeries to machine learning algorithms that can identify illnesses earlier. And this conference, international conference, certainly fosters collaboration, shares groundbreaking research, and stimulates insightful discussions. So we have scheduled a conference for 2 days, programming the lot of presentations, panel discussions from leading experts, and as well as engaging lively discussions. So therefore I encourage you all to actively participate in these sessions, network with your peers, and contribute valuable insights to your research presentations. The challenges we face in healthcare definitely are complex. Still, I am confident, and the dignitaries here, we are all confident that by harnessing the power of AI and working together, we can create a future where healthcare is more accessible, efficient, and effective for all of us. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our organizing committee under the leadership of Dr. Hemalata, our Dean of IT, Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Ruben, our IT faculty here, and our conference collaborators for their unwavering support in making this conference a reality. Your dedication and commitment are truly appreciated. Thank you for joining us for this international conference. Let us embark on this journey of discovery and innovation together, shaping the future of healthcare with the transformative power of artificial intelligence. God bless you all.
Thank you, Father, for those words so encouraging and insights. Conference proceedings stand as a testament to the intellectual efforts, novel ideas, and collaborative spirit that drive the innovation forward. Today, we take pride in releasing the conference proceedings, which reflect the latest advancements and research in this transformative field. To mark this momentous occasion, I now invite Dr. Santosh V, along with our esteemed dignitaries, to formally release the conference proceedings. Thank you, Earl. True leadership is defined by vision, guidance, and the ability to inspire others to reach greater heights. These qualities perfectly embody our esteemed President, Dr. Organises, Registrar of St. Aloyius University, whose unwavering commitment to academic excellence and research has been instrumental in shaping this institution. I now request Dr. Organises to deliver the presidential address.
Honorable Director of AIMIT, Reverend Dr. Kiran Koth, the Chief Guest of the Day, Professor Aloyius, the Conference Chair, Dr. Srikumar, the Dean of School of Information Science and Technology, Dr. Hemlata, Conference Convener, Dr. Rakesh, guests from the Sophia University, distinguished researchers, faculty members, and their students. At the outset, let me congratulate the School of Information Science and Technology for this innovative conference bridging between the AI and healthcare, which are two different sectors by itself. As Director mentioned, we are deemed to be university now. When UGC upgraded us from the status of autonomous college to the deemed to be university, we have a mandate of developing this university into a higher education center of interdisciplinary approach. And today, when we start this program, that is AI and healthcare together, this is a wonderful initiative in that direction of becoming ourselves into a university, wherein today we bring the social sciences, the engineering field, the computer science, and as well as we bring the core engineers together to work together in a collaborative way. And the theme itself is of interdisciplinary nature in that. The department here of computer science started way back in 1999, where in this region, masters in computer science was literally unknown. MC was started, it was the first master's program at this college, now it has become university. We have completed 25 years. And after that, it is the field which requires continuous updation. And the way in which for the developing technology the department has updated itself, and in the recent past in the academic council, the way in which they have proposed the curriculum and the pedagogical tool, I'm sure those are the ones which made this particular program in this region most popular, and that's why it is the best program which we have at this university at this point of time. And when we say that we are having the best program and the curriculum, and we need to develop ourselves and continuously update. I'm basically from chemistry background, and whenever I'm basically involved in more of research which involves preparation of compounds, which sometimes we use it for the medicine purpose. And you know, whenever a new medicine comes, a new drug comes, for example, antibiotic, which requires to reduce the body temperature, first time when it comes with high cost. Obviously, the high cost is not for the production of that compound, the research which goes on for finding out that compound to work. Definitely, thousands of more compounds have been tested, one was successful, and obviously manufacturer has to recover the cost of all this research goes on in that one compound. That is why cost is very high. Therein we see that AI comes into the picture, wherein in case if there is a provision where we could predict with precision the molecules which, without any hesitation, which fail the clinical by artificial intelligence. If you could tell, that is the driven technology, that is a molecular docking which is available, which is driven with AI. If you could tell that most of the compound do not work, I'm sure the research which goes on for this 1,000 compound may get reduced only to 100, cost effective, and that is what is we can connect this AI so that we can become the innovations in AI in the healthcare definitely will be cost effective, serve the humanity, and we must create therefore here a center of excellence wherein our university is continuously striving under the leadership of Honorable Vice Chancellor and the guidance by our visionary leader of Dr. Kiran Kaur. We want to establish here the center of excellence which is AI driven in that regard. Having said that, St. Aloyius is a Jesuit university, a university deeply committed for shaping men and women for others. As a Jesuit legacy, we cannot all the time to be passive recipient of knowledge, and we need to become active agent in building a just, humane and sustainable society. So today as we explore the transformative roles of artificial intelligence in healthcare, we must also emphasize on harnessing this powerful technology in a way that aligns our mission, that is using AI as a force for social good, ensuring equitable and compassionate healthcare for all. Therefore, artificial intelligence at St. Aloyius, when we look at it, we do not see only the technology, but we do make effort in reaching this technology to the most marginalized. We also take care that the AI enhance the human dignity rather than replacing the human empathy. And we know most of the advanced technology will be accessible only to the rich. AI should not be a privilege for a few, but should be the tool to benefit many. Our research and innovation need to focus on making AI-driven healthcare accessible to rural and underprivileged communities. Maybe the telemedicines, AI-assisted diagnostic or remote healthcare solution probably can bridge the gap. The second thing is, while AI can improve diagnosis, treatment and efficiency, it must never take away the human touch that is essential. The compassion, understanding and the qualities machines cannot replicate. So no machine can replace the warmth of human care, and therefore it is our responsibility too to prepare our students not just to use AI but to question it, to improve it and ensure that it serves for the common good. I once again congratulate the department here which has taken up this great responsibility of conceptualizing this conference, selecting the cutting edge team and bringing together some of the finest minds of the world. With their vast experience and resources, I'm sure and I'm confident too that we will be having an enriching time exploring the plethora of possibilities of AI in the healthcare. Thank you. Let us all have a wonderful time exploring all the possibilities where we can bridge the gap between AI and healthcare. Best wishes to you all.
Thank you, sir, for those words of wisdom and also for emphasizing on interdisciplinary research and AI in healthcare. At this special moment, we take a pause to express our sincere appreciation to those who have graced this occasion with their presence and invaluable insights. I now request our Registrar Dr. Organises to kindly present a token of gratitude to Professor Tad as a mark of our deep appreciation for his time, wisdom and contributions to this conference. I also request our Director, Dr. Father Kiran Kota SJ, to present a memento to the conference chair, Dr. Sri Kumar, for being a pillar of support and guidance throughout. It's time now to acknowledge and express heartfelt appreciation to all those who made this conference possible. To extend the vote of thanks, I now invite Dr. Rakesh Kumar to do the honors.
Dignitaries on the dais, ladies and gentlemen, very good morning to one and all. It is my privilege and honor to express my heartfelt gratitude to each and every stakeholders for their invaluable contribution to the success of ICAIH 2025. First and foremost, I express my profound gratitude to the Almighty God whose blessings have made this beautiful day possible. We are truly privileged to have today's chief guest, Professor Tad Gonsalves, a distinguished professor from Sofia University, Tokyo, Japan. He is highly talented, humble, and down-to-earth personality who also conducted 2 days session on robotics for our student and external participants. The session was well received and highly appreciated by all. Thank you, sir, for gracing this occasion with your presence and adding immense value to this event. Thank you, sir. We are also honored to have with us Dr. Ronald Nasrat, the esteemed Registrar, St. Aloyius Dean to the University, a highly enthusiastic and hard-working leader. He constantly strives to raise the university's standards while executing the visionary plans of our dynamic Vice Chancellor. Sir, we deeply appreciate your presence today despite your busy schedule. Thank you for your support, sir. Another dynamic personality on stage is Dr. Father Kiran Kota SJ, our respected director, who has always been a strong pillar of support and encouragement for our academic, research and development and student activities. Father, your steadfast dedication, insightful guidance and belief in our potential have instrumental in making this conference a success. We are truly grateful for your contribution. Thank you, Father, for your invaluable guidance and support. We are also privileged to have Dr. Sri Kumar, Professor at Mangalore Institute of Technology and Engineering, Mudupidre, and also Conference Chair, who was the driving force behind the idea of hosting this international conference. His motivation and guidance have been crucial to its successful execution. Sir, your encouragement has been invaluable and we sincerely thank you for your support. A special acknowledgement to our Dean, Dr. Hemalatayan, the convener of this conference, whose dedication, commitment and leadership played a pivotal role in making this event a grand success. Thank you, Madam, for your tireless efforts. I extend my sincere gratitude to my colleagues who led various committees and ensured the smooth execution of every aspect of this conference. Your teamwork and dedication are truly commendable. Thank you, my dear friends. I would also like to acknowledge the invaluable contribution of Office Manager and her team, Mr. Mohandas, System Administrator and his team, Mr. Lancy Pinto and his team, the Placement Department, thanks from Press and Media, also Father Roshan Pereira, SJ, who is the Assistant Director of our hostel. Thanks, Father. A heartfelt thanks to our students for their cooperation and enthusiastic volunteering. Your active participation has been made remarkable. Thanks, dear students. I also extend my gratitude to the faculty member and research scholar from the main campus of our university who also joined us today. Your presence is truly appreciated, sir. I also express my gratitude to another conference chair, Dr. Raghavendra Ramchandra, Professor, Department of Information Security and Communication, NT in Norway, and also all the session chairs and keynote speakers. A special mention to all our participants from various institutions across India and abroad, including students from Sophia University. They are already here. Thanks, dear students, and also professors. And our online presenters, especially from North India, China, Oman, and US. Your contributions have enriched this conference. Thank you for being part of ICAIH 2025. Finally, I extend my gratitude to each and every individual who contributed directly or indirectly to the success of this event. Thank you, one and all. Wishing you a wonderful day ahead.
It's my privilege to give a brief introduction about our conference chair, Dr. Srikumar. Dr. Srikumar is a professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at AIMIT, Motivate. He is also a chairman for faculty recruitment in the institution. With 24 years of teaching and research experience, he is a recognized research supervisor, guiding 7 PhD scholars under VTU and Manipal Academy of Higher Education. He is also a key speaker for 13th International Conference on Frontiers of Intelligence Computing at London, UK. He was an invited speaker on quantum computing for machine learning application at 6th Springer International Conference on Soft Computing and its engineering application at Bangkok. He was a session chair for multiple IEEE and Springer International Conference, delivered keynote speeches on IoT in healthcare and human health with AI, convener for ISCOM 2023, a Springer International Conference at MIT. He has won Best 4 Paper Awards, Best Paper Awards at IEEE and Springer in AI, blockchain, face recognition and wireless networks. He has around 36 Scopus Index research papers, published extensively in Springer, IEEE, Indus Science, Web of Science and Scopus Index journals. He has research expertise in AI, face recognition, blockchain, IoT and quantum computing, 4 patents in intelligent traffic control, quantum water purification, AI in healthcare and network security. Had also taken up 2 government-funded projects in IoT and AI. Also has edited 2 books, Digital Image Processing and Image Processing using Python, and is also an editor for Springer International Conference Proceedings. So we are really fortunate to have such a great personality as conference chair for our international conference. Thank you, sir.
As we conclude this inaugural session, let us all rise for the college anthem, a symbol of our institution's spirit, unity and commitment to excellence. I invite the choir to lead us in the rendition of the college anthem.
With inspiring addresses, thought-provoking insights and a shared vision for the future, we now embark on the fourth session of this conference. Let us engage, exchange ideas and contribute meaningfully to the discourse that shapes the future of AI in healthcare. Wishing you all an insightful and enriching conference and thank you.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಿಕಲ್ ಗ್ಲಿಚ್ ಗೊತ್ತು.
to welcome you all to this special occasion, where we come together to learn, grow and be inspired. Today we are honored to have with us an exceptional personality who has made a significant contribution in the field of science and technology. And now, without further ado, let us welcome our keynote speaker, Professor Tad Gonzalez, to share his thoughts with us. Over to you, sir.
All right, once again, a very good morning to everybody, and we'll start with our presentation. So today I'm going to speak to you about outlining internal value system for AI. Okay, so outlining an internal value system for AI. This talk is going to be quite controversial, so lots of things which you'll find disturbing. So I want the students to raise a number of questions at the end of this presentation. So we'll have three parts. The first part is how AI is used in practice. I'll mention three different fields where I've been using AI in my research. The next part, which is the core of today's presentation, we'll talk about the internal value system for AI. It's like a conscience for AI. And part three will be for questions. So AI in practice. This is our Sophia University, which is a Jesuit university. We have about 9 undergrad faculties and undergrad schools, and about 40,000 schools. You can see that this is one of our old buildings. It's more than 100 years old, and the rest are all new buildings here. So a small campus which has lots of old and new buildings in the middle of Tokyo. And this is my lab where we sort of do lots of AI computations and applications for business, for drones, for self-driving cars, for NLP, and for healthcare. You see here that this machine is a workstation which has multi-GPUs, which aids your computation, which speeds up the computation. We also make our machines because it's very expensive to buy ready-made machines. And these are some of my students. You see they look very happy here. You never see them so happy in classroom. This is because they finished their studies and they're graduating. So these are my two books, AI, Artificial Intelligence, a non-technical introduction. When I was a student, I was referring to an AI book which is called The Bible of AI. 99% of that book was mathematics, which is very discouraging. So I wrote my first book, which is non-technical. You will not find a single formula in that. So it's easy even for art students to read and understand. The next book is about the AI for business. So these books are available on the internet and they are selling like hotcakes. So make sure you buy your copy and get them signed by the author and I'm here. Alright, so let's see. A question to the students. How many of you think that this is an AI? Please raise your hand. Nobody? How many of you think this is AI? I think all of you are right. This is not AI. Why? Because each and every instruction, what the robot is doing is programmed inside. So it cannot do more than what it is programmed. Okay? So this is not AI. What about this? This is a robot who can play a violin much better than a human professional. This was invented by Honda some years ago. Is this AI? It plays music better than human beings. What do you think? How many of you say this is AI? Nobody. I think students are pretty shy. Okay. Now again, this also is not AI because each note on the musical score, the style of bowing, the pause, the expression of music, all that is programmed, pre-programmed. The very fine movements of the fingers. So because it cannot play things which are not already programmed inside. So in short, If a program cannot do more than what it is programmed for, it is not supposed to be AI, right? Fine, you know the structure of a computer, you have hardware, you have OS, firmware, on top you have application programs. So AI is just an application program that you see here. So it's not a robot. So many people think that AI is necessarily a robot. But AI program is a piece of software. It need not be. It need not be hardware. It need not be robotics. It's a very small application program. So there's no need to be afraid of AI. If most people are afraid of AI, they think it's a black box. They don't know how it will behave or it will do. So AI is not a robot. It is not a black box. It's a very small application program which resides on top of all the computing layers. Okay? And this is how we define AI. In fact, this definition was given about 70 years ago in 1950. The science of building machines or computer programs that can think and behave like human beings, or intelligent computer programs. So these programs may or may not be embodied in robots, may not have a physical body. Now, why do you think we want to make machines which are as good as human beings? It's not to replace human beings, but to help us to solve our social problems. So AI started in 1950, but it took us almost about 45 years to have the first successful AI program which could beat a human champion in chess. And then you had the quiz competition, which was where the humans lost to AI. And in 2016, you had the famous Korean, Japanese, and Chinese game of Go, which is considered to be the most difficult board game. So AlphaGo was an AI system which won against human champions. Okay? So it took us more than 70, 80 years to develop AI which could win over human beings. Okay? So this is because for a long time, researchers did not know what intelligence was. Right? So now in 1990, for the first time in the AI world, intelligence was defined as the ability to learn and solve problems. And learning, this learning which is done in AI is totally different from human learning. So in AI, machine learning is defined as finding patterns in data and making predictions. So I'm sure all of you know this. Learning does not mean remembering things in AI, but it means finding patterns in data and making predictions. Okay? So these three are the pillars of AI. You have lots of data, you have programs, and you have processing. Okay? If you remove any of these, AI will collapse and will not be able to go further. I'll just cut short to the history of AI because most of you know this. Now the latest in AI is something called deep learning. I'm sure you know this, where we use a neural network which is kind of a resemblance to the human brain. Now how do we human beings as children, how do we learn? How do we identify and recognize objects? So somebody tells us, when we look at a picture, somebody tells us this is an orange, this is an apple, or this is a pineapple. So there's a label given to each object, which our parents, which our teachers tell us. And we try to identify these objects. When we usually look at these objects or touch them, a network is created inside our brain. There are certain neurons which are firing, certain neurons are very inactive. So this they form a network corresponding to an object. And this is how we do not remember a particular object, but we remember its appearance, its color, its taste, its size, its shape. Okay? I mean, it forms a pattern in our brain. Now this is exactly what deep learning programs do. Sorry, this is called a deep neural network, as you know, which is a very poor imitation of the human brain. So if you put your data inside here, all these neurons, try to identify the patterns which are found in this data and predict what the data is all about, whether it's an apple or an orange, or if the email is spam or ham, which can sort of identify and recognize. Okay, so that's how AI will be used in deep learning, because we kind of sort of use this neural network to solve different problems. And this same structure could be used to identify text, pictures, speech, and so on and so forth. Okay. So we're going to, now next part is about the applications. In my research, my students in my lab, I've been using AI for education, for transportation, and for healthcare. So let me briefly explain these three areas before we go to the problems which current AI has produced in our society. Okay, at Sophia University, we have a very famous program which is called Content and Language Integrated Learning. That means you learn a language not just by learning the grammar rules, but start with the contents. Start with the contents. Try to, as a student, try to express. Let's say if you're doing physics or engineering, you try to learn it in a different language altogether. So you're learning the content. Now, we use lots of AI programs to sort of teach our students. So each student has an AI teacher which can adjust the learning to the individual needs of the student. We also made this Spanish grammar error correction system. That means our teachers could relax a little bit. Our AI system would sort of read the essays of students who learn Spanish and try to correct automatically. So this was very successful until about 3 years ago. So after ChatGPT gave me the picture, I think we lost business. So now we are not using the system because ChatGPT is slightly better than us. Okay. So as students, I'm sure you have used AI as tools for education. You can have, there are lots of platforms. There's automatic grading for teachers. There are study aids. There are chatbots. There are smart content creations. There are NLP programs. And even computer programming, the last item here, you can even get your programs made by ChatGPT. So in education, AI has helped us very much. Okay? But associated with this, there are also problems about which we'll talk later. The next technology, which I've been very much involved in at least for about 10 years in my lab, is self-driving cars. It's also called autonomous driving, where we have a car driving all by itself. There's no need for a human driver, so that it is very safe, very efficient, and very comfortable when it comes to driving. So when we made this lab in 2019, this was the layout which was designed so that all our small cars, miniature cars, could move on the floor. We could put signals. We had a 3D printer where we could sort of print signals, road signs, road markings, and our cars would drive inside. Unfortunately, I don't have a video because I forgot to get them along. Okay. So this area, the floor, was used for our autonomous driving. Now, why would we need autonomous driving, self-driving cars? The first issue is safety. According to our statistics, about 3,700 lives are lost on streets every day. Now, this is a reality. 3,700 people die every day on the streets because humans are not very good in driving. Humans get distracted. Humans are very careless. Okay? They're not very careful when they drive. So if you leave this to machines, if you really program them well, if you make them learn how to drive on a very large scale, we expect the machines to be better than humans in driving. So that's the first reason. Next, we have problems like congestion, pollution, parking space, lack of comfort, cost. All this is because of our current technology. So we try to overcome all these problems through autonomous driving. So this is what we expect the cars to be in the future. On the left-hand side, we have the conventional car, where you have the steering, and you have the control, you have the brakes, you have the accelerators. So in the future, we expect our cars to be like a theater, where you don't have steering wheels, you don't have gas pedals, you don't have brakes, because it's all electric. The car will drive by itself, and the passengers, they can watch a movie, they can listen to music, they can do their work on the way to office. So this is how in Japan and in the United States we already have cars which are offering lots of comfortable rides. I'll show you a short video where self-driving taxis will be used in Tokyo for next year.
審な車がいたりすると、そういう時は運転手さんちょっとやってましたけども、ほとんど自動で、すごいなと思いました。
Okay, so if you see this video, it's pretty old because we're expecting the technology to be on the streets for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, but because of the pandemic, we couldn't do all that. All right, so next, so the next field where I've been working with my students, this is very recent, is AI in medicine. So as you know, there are lots of areas where we can use AI for medicine. Like first of all, we can do diagnosis and prescription from text data or from medical images. You have X-rays, you have CT scans. All those images could be used to identify if there's a problem with the patient. Then there's drug discovery, personalized medications. All of us now, if we are sick, we take a pill or we take some medicine. Now, if we take the same, we give the same medicine to everybody, which is not very good because sometimes it doesn't suit different people. So this personalized medication implies that AI will find out at the molecular level which kind of medicine fits a given individual. Number 4, we have AI for patient care, where we can use different programs or robots to take care of old people and even to inquire into mental health and to do some counseling. All this technology is being used the world over. Okay. So in short, so this is how you would use AI. Most of the students I'm sure know how deep learning is being used. This is how AI can be used in medicine, which is actually being used. First of all, you have input system. Okay, so the medical staff, they put in the input the patient's data into AI programs. It could be the different medical tests, it could be different symptoms which the patient is complaining about. The AI system sort of diagnoses, finds out what is wrong, finds the patterns, and make predictions. The AI systems make predictions based on this patient data. So that's all what we said was machine learning was all about. And so, but that's not the end of, you do not leave everything in the hands of AI. Doctors refer to these predictions in diagnosis and treatment. They refer to the advice given by AI programs, and they use the expertise and experience to diagnose and to do the treatment. So this is how AI is being used. Next is personalized treatment, which I just explained to you. Not giving the same pill to everybody, but looking at individual needs, the individual body composition, the genetic heritage, and accordingly adjust the kind of drugs that a person should be given. AI in drug discovery. Now this was greatly used during the pandemic to find a vaccine, right? So we'll have to go, as you heard from one of our distinguished speakers this morning, how the molecules have been discovered which could fit this virus and sort of destroy it. Okay. Recently, there are lots of robots used in caregiving in Japan because we have a shortage of nurses, doctors, and personnel, so we use robots to aid the medical staff. Okay. And these are some of the functions which AI-powered robots in hospitals and healthcare facilities. They're assisting with surgery, they're delivering medications, they're doing physiotherapy, they provide companionship to patients. There are robots who can listen to your complaints. There are robots who can do counseling at some stage, not perfectly. So they can even attend to mental health and counseling problems to some stage. Now this robot called Robear, it's like a teddy bear, is very famous in Japan. It can lift patients. As you know, in Japan, daily bath is like a ritual. They have lots of hot springs. It's not just a shower. People like to get into a hot pot. So it's very difficult to lift the patients. Imagine a nurse trying to lift a 70 kg person and put it in the bath. That would be very difficult. The nurse will break her back. So we use robots to carry patients very gently and sort of giving them a bath. Okay, so this is one of the applications. All right, so that's all for the time being. I'll just try to summarize some kind of applications that we have done in 3 different fields, like education and transportation and healthcare. Okay. The second part, we will see all that we have seen so far are the advantages of using AI, the benefits, the good things. But in the second part, we will see that there are lots of problems. There are lots of social, there are lots of ethical problems. And how are we going to address these problems? So the answer is we are addressing these problems by creating an internal value system for AI. To describe this thing very briefly, how do we human beings identify what is good and what is bad? Because we have been trained in that. We have kind of an internal value system. We have internalized the values which is given to us by our parents, by our school, by our teachers. So all of us have the so-called conscience, which enables us to distinguish between what is good and what is bad. And accordingly, we make use, we rely on our conscience every time when we have to think, decide, and act. So can we have something similar for an AI before it makes a decision? Can it have kind of an internal value system on which it can base its decisions? Okay? So just to give an example of this, I'm sure the students have heard about Tay. Tay was a teenage girl with a chatbot created to interact with youngsters through tweets. Okay? About 16, 17 age American teenage girls, they were supposed to teach Tay about their lives, about fashions, about schooling, about sports, about music, about dance, about everything. Unfortunately, they realized that in just half a day's time, they had learned offensive language and hate speech. Just half a day's time. It would not do any good greeting. It would just be bad words. Now, why did this happen? Because you have this famous saying in AI, garbage in and garbage out. All the teenagers had taught this Tay bad things, foul language, bad words, dirty language, hate speech. And that's how this robot, this chatbot, had learned only bad things. Could not utter a single good expression, single good word. Okay? So this is what is happening with AI today. Whatever you put in comes out on the other side. So if you put in good things, you will get good things out. If you put in bad things, you will get bad things out. Garbage in and garbage out. Now why does this happen? Obviously because AI has no internal system where it can judge for itself if something which is fed inside is good or which is something is fed inside is bad. So whatever is put inside, it just finds out the patterns and gives us predictions. So it has no way of learning something that is good or bad. So I think one of the things we need to decide from now is to put some kind of an internal value system in the program so that the programs understand what is good, what is bad. Okay. So this is, I'm sure, as software, in your software class, in your AI class, in your machine class, everybody is doing this. How do we do machine learning? First of all, we have data sets which are available free of charge. We download them, we try to pre-process, we try to filter out all the noise, and trim the data, trim the images, make them sort of suitable for the input, and then we sort of train them with the model. The model is a program, and then we test it. And what we do is we get predictions, right? Everybody knows all this. Now the problem is, when you look at the predictions, sometimes the predictions are biased. Sometimes they're tainted. The program is not transparent. The program cannot explain why it makes certain predictions in favor of some people, or this kind of a gender bias or a race bias. And the whole of AI is not responsible, it's not accountable. So all these problems are being pointed out in today's deep learning models, right? And why does this happen? Just because AI does not have an internal system which can judge for itself whether the decisions or the predictions are right or wrong. Okay? So in short, in its current form, AI does not have the least idea of ethics, just like human beings. We human beings, we have knowledge, we also have ethics, we have a value system. So we know how to use our knowledge based on some ethics, based on some value system, which is given to us by religion, culture, education, society, so on and so forth. Okay, so now if you see, if you read lots of papers, newspapers, magazines, there's a lot of talk on AI ethics, including UNESCO. So the world needs stronger ethical rules for AI. Programmers and researchers should take into consideration value systems, ethics, before they develop their AI systems. There are lots of AI regulations. The European Union, for instance, the United States, Canada. I'm not sure about India, but most of the countries have started making very strict rules and regulations about the privacy of data and about transparency in the algorithms that we use for machine learning. Okay. So in short, if we look at the current state of AI, we have explained that there's a lot of problem of lack of transparency. It's called inexplainability. That means the data, there is data bias, algorithmic bias, lack of transparency, unaccountability. But I think we can solve this problem in the future. If you have nice filters, if you know how to filter your biases in your data, if you can design transparent algorithms, there's a lot of research in this area. So this is a technical problem. It's not so much an ethical problem because the data sets we're using are not really balanced. They're not good. They have lots of problems. So if you start our machine learning with good data, data which is not biased, data which is not sort of bad, we can somehow, or algorithms which are very transparent, somehow we can at least try to mitigate the problems caused due to inexplainability. So we need some more time, maybe another 10 years or so. The second point, which I see in AI, is called malignancy. That means if AI falls in bad hands, like you can have AI wars, you can make weapons, you can make so many bad things which can destroy humanity. Now there are lots of books on something called AI singularity. I'm sure you know this word, singularity. Is what happens at the center of a black hole. A black hole in astrophysics is a star which has collapsed, and it is so strong, the gravity is so strong that the light cannot escape from the surface. So that nobody knows what happens at the center of a black hole. Physics, mathematics, all our sciences cannot describe what happens inside a black hole. So that's called a singularity, something which is very, very frightening. So there are lots of books which try to explain if AI continues to develop by itself, it may end up in just singularity. That means we human beings will not be able to control it anymore. We will not know what it will do by itself. It could destroy humanity. It could do so many bad things. Okay. Now again, I think this is not a big problem. This is more like a science fiction movie. Okay, so we need not worry about it. Maybe in the future, not at least in my lifetime. Okay. So right now the problem that I see is the third one, which is called disruptions. The humans are thrown out of the loop. AI is trying to dominate center stage, and we humans are being sidelined. And I think this is a big problem with current AI. And this needs to be addressed by all of us, by AI researchers, by our students, by everybody who is developing AI. Okay? So remember the word disruption and humans out of the loop. So how are we going to handle this problem? So I like to imagine AI as like a huge dragon. It's a dangerous beast. It's a very powerful beast which feeds on tons and tons of data. As I told you, we cannot have AI, we cannot have machine learning without data. So we need volumes, big data, volumes of data. So this dragon, which is like an AI, is eating lots of data, and it tries to do some type of blind processing. It is not aware what it is. It's just blindly processing due to some computational and mathematical algorithms. So the processing does not have any value system. It's very blind. And the dragon, by fluttering his wings, is kind of giving us predictions, which sometimes are biased and very wild. They are not, it doesn't have a value system. For some people they are good, for some people they are bad. So trying to put rules and regulations on this dragon is like building a wall outside. So this is not solving the entire problem. It's just solving part of the problem. Remember, imagine you have a ferocious dog at home. Okay? You're trying to keep the dog on a leash all the time. So the dog behaves as long as it is on a leash. But if it happens to escape from the leash, what will happen? It will go and bite people. So this is what's going to happen with AI also. If you try to control it externally with our rules and regulations, it will be fine. But the minute somebody sort of disobeys rules and regulations, AI will be out of control. So this solves our problem partially. So how are we going to solve this problem totally? So before we go to this solution, let's talk about technology in general. About 200 years ago, as you know, there was something called industrial revolutions. That means earlier on we used to do all our farming, agriculture, using our hands. Actually go to the fields, dig by ourselves, plant, and sort of cultivate and do the harvesting. That was replaced overnight by tractors, by machines. Okay? Next, our transportation was like this horse carriages, or humans would walk from place to place. That was replaced by cars. Even household works was replaced by lots of machines. So what has happened here? The Industrial Revolution has brought an automation, has made life automatic with a machinery, which has displaced human activity. Now, according to Karl Marx, who is a great economist, man is a working animal. He or she has to work with their hands. So we bring in lots of creativity and value and meaning to our life through our hands as we work, as we design something, as we do something. Okay, so activity is something very, very central to our lives. Now this is being displaced by Industrial Revolution, and this had happened about 200 years ago. Today we have another revolution, which is called the AI revolution. And what is this AI revolution doing? Now we human beings are very good at thinking. All our education is meant for us to make us think to solve a problem. So if humans are given a problem, humans will think about the problem and try to solve it. Okay? Now this AI revolution has brought autonomy. We just talked about autonomous cars which can drive by themselves. They can make decisions whether to stop, to go left, to go right, to proceed. Okay? We have chess programs. We have programs which all have autonomy when they play against human beings. They can make their own decisions. They can decide for them. So that's called autonomy. So remember these two words. Automation and autonomy. Automation is just mechanical things, making things ready-made. But they don't have autonomy. Autonomy is when programs, and these are intelligent programs, can decide for themselves. Okay? They can decide. They can think. Okay? So the AI revolution, by introducing autonomy, have displaced human thinking. So in short, if you look at these two revolutions which have taken place within 200 years, human beings are thrown out of the loop. So humans were at the center about 200 years ago as far as the activity and thinking was concerned. Now, the automation brought by Industrial Revolution displaced human activities. So the human is on the loop now. Activity need not. You can sit, watch your television the whole night. The machines will do all work for you, mechanically. So that's called automation. And now with AI, we have this autonomy brought by AI revolution, which displaced human thinking. So now you can see the humans are out of the loop. This is the biggest disruption. We are nowhere. We are not in the center stage as far as our thinking and activity is concerned. I've just explained to you about autonomous driving. In fact, internationally, there are 6 different levels, from 0 to 5. The first 3 levels are very mechanical. That means you have lots of AI systems which assist you in driving, helps you, like back mirrors, parking, lane keeping, automatic brakes. So the first 3 levels is called AI assisted driving. If you see on top, the human being is always in charge of driving. It's the responsibility of the human being to drive safely without crashing, without meeting with accidents. Now when you go to level 3, 4, 5, the highest levels are 4 and 5, where there's no human being. Drivers are out of the loop. The AI system does the full control in all situations, highways, in crowded streets, there are signals, without signals. Okay? So now, if you see, this whole technology is designed to keep humans out of the loop. Because humans, as we had said earlier, are supposed to be bad drivers, dangerous drivers. They kill 3,700 people every day. Okay, so the effect is we have good sight, we have lots of good driving safety, but humans have no say in driving. Humans are thrown out of the loop. And you can see that this happens not just in transportation. It could happen in each and every domain, in each and every sector that humans are thrown out of the loop. And this has created a big disruption. So let's talk about education. All of us, most of our students, we are using lots of chatbots and generative AI to write the reports, to write the programs. Fine. So we have accessibility to lots of information. Fine. Everybody gets information just with a click of a button, which is good. We also have personalized learning. You can go to a personalized learning AI, learn a new language, learn a program, which is good. But on the other side, there are lots of negatives which are not seen. Okay? There's lots of misinformation, hallucinations. AI produces books, references which don't exist at all. They provide information which is false. So the humans, especially our students, have no way of knowing if the information is right or wrong. We go down day by day in our critical thinking, which is essential in all forms of education. And the bond between student-teacher is decreasing day by day. I think the last element, the teacher-student bond, is extremely important in all forms of learning. In Japan, we have traditional arts like tea ceremony, there's Aikido, there's karate, there is Ikebana. All these arts, you cannot learn them from the books. You cannot learn from AI. You have to be constantly in touch with the master. It's the master who is shaping you. In a similar way, in our Indian situation, we have the Guru Shishya tradition, if you remember, where the Guru is guiding you all the time. You learn not so much from the books, but you learn things like the spiritual wisdom, yoga. You always learn from the Guru. It's the Guru who is shaping you. So in a similar way, in our education, the classroom is a teacher who's all the time trying to shape you, not just giving you knowledge, trying to shape your personality. Now this is going down day by day, the student-teacher bond, and which affects our student very badly, so that the character formation no longer exists in our classroom. So if you see, there are more negatives than positives to AI in education. In transportation also, okay, if you have self-driving cars, they'll be safe, there'll be less accidents, there'll be increased mobility. Anybody just can call Uber, taxi, in the middle of the night and everything's okay. But the negatives are, if there's a breach in security, the whole system will crash. Okay? What happens in emergencies? Let's say the passenger suddenly falls sick. What will the car do? Or if the car is with an accident, whose responsibility? So we have lots of problems when it comes to emergencies. The ethical dilemmas. Okay, there is something called the problem with trolley. So if the car has to brake, will it hit the people outside or will it try to save the people inside? So lots of ethical dilemmas, which somehow we human beings try to solve using our conscience. So will AI be able to solve this? Okay. So towards the end of our talk today, we try to propose some solutions to these problems. Okay. So this is going to be the last part of my talk. So please pay attention because I'll have lots of questions to the students based on this. Just give me a minute. As we said earlier, if you put garbage in, you get garbage out. This is because there's no internal system AI which can judge if something is good and bad. Let's look at the human conscience on the right-hand side. When we make decisions, or when we decide that something is right or wrong, there are three different elements. First of all, we have knowledge. There's an ethical code inside us, which we have learned right from our childhood. There's experience. Okay? And there's empathy. Empathy is a feeling for others, feeling towards people. Okay? So can we make this kind of modules in AI? Can we do something like knowledge, ethical knowledge for AI programs? Can we replicate experience in AI? And can we have something called empathy for AI? So we'll just look into these three concepts because this is something very, very new and I've not seen this anywhere. So these are my proposals for creating an internal system for AI. So once again, we make ethical decisions based on knowledge, and this knowledge is acquired from religion, culture, education, common sense, so on and so forth. Okay? So knowledge is something which is codified in the form of text, which you can make a knowledge base, just like a database, given all the rules and regulations to behave itself. But this can be done. We already have expert systems which function based on human knowledge. So in a similar way, we can build AI knowledge systems which can act based on this medical knowledge. Now what's experience? Experience is the knowledge acquired after repeated trials of success failures. Okay? As children, we have been taught by our parents and our teachers how to behave. But we make mistakes. We make mistakes, but we learn from our mistakes. Okay? Or sometimes we're successful. We try to repeat these successes. So experience is something which we learn. It's also kind of a knowledge which is acquired through practice, repeated practice. Right? And empathy is positive feelings towards others. Now what happens is, when we have to decide something, first of all we think whether it is right or wrong. Second, we count our experience, or in the past I've faced similar situations. Sometimes knowledge and experience are not enough. They're not enough when we have to decide, especially in medical situations. Okay? To save the life of a patient, what to do. So that's the time we fall back on something called empathy, a system of feelings where we feel for the person. Right? And most of our difficult decisions are based on this empathy. Okay? So can we design an AI system which will have knowledge, experience, and empathy? That's the question. The research question in AI. Okay. So I think yes. Knowledge, yes, we have done this. About 30 years ago, we had expert systems which could perfectly imitate human knowledge in any given domain, especially in medicine. Experience, yes, we have fuzzy systems. If you have learned fuzzy logic in your classes, you know how to design a fuzzy system which can deal with imprecise, uncertain knowledge and experience. Okay? Now the third part is not yet done. How do you create machines which have empathy, which can understand empathy? And the new branch of AI, which is trying to address this problem, is called affective computing. Okay? So this is the latest, which I'm doing with my students in Tokyo. Affective computing is a new branch of AI, which aims to develop systems that can recognize, interpret, and respond to human emotions. So please remember this. What's affective computing? It's a new branch of AI that aims to develop systems that can recognize, interpret, and respond to human emotions. The emotional part. So far, there is no emotional part in AI, but we need this for ethical decisions. So can we train our AI systems to understand human emotions? Okay? And this is what my students have done, undergrad students. Try to understand human emotions just looking at the face. Photograph. If the person is smiling, maybe he is happy. If the person is crying, maybe the person is sad. If the person is disgusted, you can see it on the face. If the person is angry and annoyed, you can see on the facial expression. ECG spectrograms from these signals, you can identify the corresponding emotion. Maybe the person is excited, maybe the person is angry, maybe the person is relaxed. Also speech. We express lots of our emotions through our speech. When a person is happy, you can see the speech changes, it becomes very warm. If the person is sad, you can see the tone changes, it becomes very sad. If the person is angry, you can see the pitch rises. Right? So we can analyze speech of a human person at a given point of time and pinpoint to the kind of emotion that the person is trying to express through his or her speech. Okay? So now this is called a multimodal analysis. That means we take into consideration not just one mode, but more than one mode of expressing human emotions at one time. Maybe look at the face of what the person is saying through his face. At the same time, try to take in all the physiological functions, the sensors, like the ECG, the pulse, the heart rate, the amount of perspiration, those could be monitored to the sensor, okay, real-time monitoring, and of course the speech, analyze the speech in real time. So if you can combine all these different modes of analysis, you can more or less figure out what the human being is trying to say, kind of expression, and you can develop kind of an empathy. Okay? So this has been done by my, unfortunately couldn't send a paper, to this conference, but at least we have 4 or 5 papers in the making about this, how to recognize human emotions. Okay, so I think if we sort of have these are the 3 major problems that we currently have: AI, inexplainability, malignance, and disruptions. So if we try to sort of develop a conscious internal value system for AI, it will try to solve our inexplainability. It will strive for fairness and explainability because now it has internal conscience. It will strive to mitigate harm and risks. So even if AI falls in bad hands, if bad humans give it wrong commands, it will say no. This is unethical. This is not good. Okay? Disruption. It will try to keep humans in the loop. Okay? Let's say in a medical setup, AI will not decide everything. There are certain things when it comes to life and death decisions. AI will say, okay, this is my limitation. Please refer to the expert doctor. Okay? So this is how AI will try to keep humans in the loop when it comes to important decision making. Right? Now, if we succeed in doing this, in explainability, malignance, and disruption, we will have AI that drags with the heart, with an internal conscience, a value system, just like the human being, so that, of course, it will continue to feed on data, but now the circle will be complete. You'll have external rules and regulation, which is given to us by governments, by the governing bodies, about privacy, about explainability, about rules and regulation, but it will also have an internal conscience, so that feeding on data, it will have a value-based processing. So if you don't have a heart, your processing becomes very blind. But if you have a heart, it becomes value-based. And finally, we hope that we'll have reasonable predictions without gender bias, without race bias, which is fair to everybody. So if we have an AI with an ethical sense, we will try to solve these disruption problems. So let's say, on the positive side, in education, if you have an AI with conscience, how will it behave? It will try to guide our students to achieve the true ideal of education. So if a student is copying and pasting all the time from ChatGPT, AI will say, hey look, you are cheating. You're not getting educated. Okay? Go and refer to your teacher. If you're doing all the assignments and homeworks by just using AI, well, you may get good marks in your education, your exams, but you're not learning anything. You'll suffer in the long term. So now this is a value-based system which our AI will tell our students. Okay? This is what I'm aiming at. So that in the long run, we'll have more positives than negatives. In a similar way, we can sort of, it will make our students more aware, and it will tighten the bond between teachers and our students. We can talk of similar sort of balance which is stored in self-driving vehicles. When a car is driving, if there's an emergency, the car will always refer to human beings. How do we decide now? There's a patient who is sick in the car. What do we do? Okay, take him to a hospital. Okay. So if there's a crisis, the car will stop and always refer to human being to make decisions. So this is how we're trying to mitigate the disruption which is brought by AI by keeping humans in the loop. Thank you. So that's the end of my talk, and we'll just take some time for questions. Thank you very much. As I said earlier, this is very controversial, and I expect the students to raise lots of questions. Don't feel shy, please raise your hands. Do you think this is possible? To create a system which can understand human feelings, empathy? Yes, I think she has a question.
So please give us an insight on that affecting computing.
Give an example.
Yes.
Yes, now this is very new, so we really don't have too many examples, but the easiest thing to understand are the facial expressions. You have a data set where we have people who are, let's say, smiling, like here, or we have people who are sort of weeping. Yeah, so these data sets are sort of labeled, annotated. So each face has a, let's say it's happy or sad, angry, all that. Okay? And the AI program is trying to identify. It's learning through, it learns what it means. It picks up patterns, what it means to be happy, the smile, what it means to be sad. Just from the expression, one part. Okay? So that's one example. The next one is you have, let's say we have lots of sensors in our body. Like right now I have this watch, which gives me all my heart rate and my blood sugar all the time. So this is digital data, which let's say all the ECG. So if you feed this continuous to the AI system, to a server, the AI system will know whether I'm happy now or sad. You know, more or less is not complete. So, and then looking at the speech. So right now I'm speaking to this microphone. This could be fed straight to the AI system, but it will analyze the signals, the speech signals, and see the tone of the person. Because angry, happy, sad. So if you combine all these things, you can understand, the AI system can understand. I'm not saying it will not be able to feel because it is an artificial system. Okay? Sometimes it will be able to understand what it means. What is the human being going through now? What's the meaning of this emotion? It's a simulation. It's just trying to understand, it's trying to analyze. The robot or the AI will not feel because the machine cannot feel. I don't know if I answered your question. Sorry? Empathy, yes. So empathy would be this is initial stage. So we have not yet gone to empathy. This is just initial stage of trying to identify emotions. Later on, as we deepen our research, we'll analyze the different feelings. Like there are negative feelings, like anger, and there are positive feelings. Like empathy is the biggest or the deepest positive feeling. So we'll have to reach to that level. So this is, now I get your question, okay. So this is just a starting level. It is a starting level. The research has just started. I think it's not even more than 3 years. Okay. So if we continue with this, finally, I believe we will reach to sort of cover all the human emotions, including empathy, which we can include in our AI conscious. Okay. Any more questions?
Sir?
Yes.
You know this yes.
Mike?
You know, this ASD, in the sense autism spectrum disorder, the early detection of autism, and ASD children or person, can we develop any solution for this? ASD means, anyway you know that. So can we develop any solution by using this whatever you explained so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, there was a conference in Japan some years ago where a lady researcher who is dealing with children with autism, she had developed a robot who would speak to the children and try to pick up all the signals about it, what the children were trying to convey. And through analyzing the data produced by the robot, it could understand what was the problem with this child, the different levels of autism. Okay? So in short, they say that children become, autism develops because children are very sensitive. They're so delicate that they just close their senses. So this was a model developed by a researcher, making a robot who could interact with children and get lots of data from the children, okay, and then analyze and see what is possibly the cause. And of course then design solutions. So this is being researched upon, but we're still with the early stages. The students, please. I want the students to interact, not so much the professors.
Good morning, sir.
Yes.
So, if we could teach AI to be more empathetic. Someone might as well teach AI to be other emotions like anger and rage and revenge or jealousy. So if empathy is possible, that is possible as well, right? I mean,
right, okay, very good. That's, I understand what you're trying to say. If we can teach AI good things, we can always teach them bad things. And this is nothing new. People have already taught AI bad things long back. This is a classic example, right? So now, what happens here? If you put in the current AI is we can teach it good things, we can teach bad things. Everything depends on us. AI does not know what is good, what is bad. So if you put in garbage, it comes, you get garbage. So let's say you keep on teaching bad things about hate speech, violence and offense, all that. So you get a system like this. Now, but if we teach in a very, how do we train our children, small children? We form their conscience. We train them what it is good, how to behave, how to speak, how to behave in society, right? So we just give them good things. Okay? If we give them, if they do bad things, we don't teach them to do bad things. We don't teach our children to do bad things. We teach them to do good things. But somehow they also pick up bad things from the environment or maybe from others. That is being reduced all the time. We punish the children or we try to educate them. Okay? So this is what will happen. So if we teach, not this. Okay. So if we teach our AI in a controlled environment where we develop programs which are good, let's say, all ethical systems, knowledge of what is good, in given domains. There are ethics in medicine, there are ethics in engineering, ethics in business, which is an established body. So we give all this knowledge. There is the ethics in religions, in cultures, in society. So we sort of make a big, huge database, and of course experience, and kind of an empathy, which we have talked about. So, and this is the control, is like training your little child in the primary section, okay? Till the conscience is formed, where we don't allow bad influences to touch the heart of our AI. It's a control, just as you would train our little children. Okay? Now, when the child has formed a conscience, the child, the person, as an adult, can decide for himself because he has kind of a system, internal system. So in a similar way, when we have formed the heart or the conscience of AI, if we give bad things, it will say, sorry, this is bad, this is not ethically correct. So if you put in garbage, it will throw out the garbage from the mouth. That's kind of the system we're running. We could teach bad things, certainly, but we will sort of try to develop the system in such a way that it is controlled and brought up in a very good atmosphere, just as we do with our children. Of course, it's a very idealistic solution, but I think it's doable. That was a very good question. Thank you so much. Mike, please.
So continuing on with that concept itself, going into the next level of data acquiring, wherein we go into the truth of what a person feels. Like earlier, there were studies like cameras which could capture the aura of a person when a person is angry or a person is sad. So this is going to one more level deeper and capturing those data and getting making some sense out of it. So can that be done? Because this data itself can be poisoning. Like when we say facial expression, somebody may give a fake smile. Somebody's heart rate must have increased for some other reason in that particular situation. So if we can go one level deeper, can that be done?
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. As you pointed out, rightly pointed out, there are lots of problems with this. Just because a person is smiling all the time does not mean he or she is happy. And this happens very often. You see some of our film stars; they're smiling all the time, but the next day you see the papers they've committed suicide. You know that, right? So just because a person is smiling does not mean he or she is happy all the time. So we can always sort of display false emotions, but if we have a sensors all the time monitoring some of that could be reduced. Okay, even if the person is smiling, maybe there are some body rhythms which through data is saying the person is not happy. Okay, that is one part. So, but as you were saying, there could be some other minor reasons, right? So we need lots of research and identify what exactly. Now, the human emotions is not yet well understood. It's not even in psychology. How do we feel? Why do we feel? How to hold? There's something called emotional intelligence. It's a new theory in psychology. It's about 20 years old, where we need intelligence even to manage our emotions. So in the olden ages, we thought that the knowledge was here, the emotions in the heart, and emotions you can't do anything about. You just have to control. But now we know that's not correct. We know that emotions need to be handled. If I'm angry, I should be aware that I'm angry. If I'm sad, I should know that I'm sad. So that helps me to become a better person when I can handle my emotions. So that's called emotional intelligence, which is a real upcoming theory in psychology. So we are building our model based on, there's something called AEI, emotional artificial intelligence, or another word is affective computing, where we're trying to understand the whole domain of human emotion. What is it? Why is it that we feel this way? And how can we manage, not control, how can we manage our emotions so that we really behave as mature human beings in society? And we have a sense of well-being and happiness. That's the aim of our life. Any religion teaches us to be happy and to help others, right? How do we do that? Of course, there's lots of psychology. So all our models will be based on the psychological models, but there's lots of research, as you were saying, needed to pinpoint, because there are lots of contradictory sensations, contradictory data. And AI, as you know, is a model which can filter through tons and tons of data to pinpoint to the real cause-effect relationship. I think it can be done, but we need some more time and we need more research. In principle, at least I, as a researcher, think it can be done.
Good morning, sir. My question is regarding data. So there is this concept of majority wins or majority rules. So in that factor, suppose a majority is there that perceives a certain kind of knowledge as in the wrong knowledge is considered the right thing. So how can we, is there a way to filter out this also, like this perception that it is wrong, but it is, to a majority that is actually right? So is there any way that this kind of information can be filtered out and all?
I think yes. So we sometimes make wrong decisions on the majority-minority problems because we don't have enough data, we don't have enough knowledge, we don't have enough time to digest, to go through. That's the limit of our human system. Okay. Now this system is vastly superior to human beings when it comes to data. It can go through millions and billions of data records. So if you have lots of data and AI can learn, maybe it will point out that there are contradictions in human thinking itself, in human decisions, the minority, majority. But the real truth is here. So this is what I expect the future AI to go through tons and tons of data, all the world traditions, religions, cultures, ethical decision making, and tell us this is how humans have decided so far. Up to here they were right, but here maybe they were not right. And based on that, how can humans in the future learn to make good decisions? I think it's possible because this has access to millions of data records. So at least it can, as a tool, it can. We should not put all our decisions in AI, but it will help us as a tool to make decisions for us, but based on correct and objective data.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Okay, we'll take just one last question because I'm not sure how much time we have. More questions from the students? Yes.
Good morning.
Morning.
Recently, I've seen a video wherein a Tesla car is driving on the road, and there is a sidewalk besides the road, and on the other lane there is incoming traffic. person walking on the sidewalk, he slips and falls onto the road.
Right.
Yeah. So I think the car is in a decent speed, and within a split second it decides whether to stop the car or, and I mean there is like very less distance between the person and the car, and the speed is quite high, so it can't stop right there.
Right.
So it chooses to drive into the incoming traffic, and there is an accident caused over there, but it is not very fatal. How did the AI choose to take that decision where it drives into the incoming traffic, to save a person's life? It could have been fatal for the person or people sitting inside the car. So how did it manage to do that within a split second?
All right. So that's something good, right?
Yes.
But so far we have been hearing all bad things about Tesla, how it crashes into pedestrians and whatnot. It's the first time I personally have heard something good about Tesla. Okay. There are lots of problems which have been unsolved so far in driving. Here. This is a big model where humans are bad drivers, so let's put AI and try this. Okay, now the last two stages. In fact, our technology has not yet reached there. In fact, if you really go to see, there are lots of loopholes, unsolved problems. But the problem with governments sometimes and companies, we put technology on the road when it is not 100% there. That's the problem with human decision making. Okay. Now, 4 is like you can have your autonomous driving in specialized situations. The roads are controlled, not in the city areas. The weather is good. It's not, you don't have rain. The 5th is everywhere. Now, what happens? That 4 and 5 needs lots and lots of development, lots of training. Okay. Now, if Tesla has reached the stage where it can judge for itself, you're faced with 2 evils, let's say. Okay, and now human models teach us when you're faced with 2 evils, you choose the one which has lesser impact, lesser evils. So this is what we are going to teach our cars. Apparently, maybe Tesla already has this module. When it's faced with 2 evils, it's choosing the lesser of the 2. That's a human value. Now, how did it act so fast? Technology is at least 1,000 times faster than human decision. You know that. It works in milliseconds. It takes, in driving, they say the fastest human being can respond in 4 seconds time. If you see a danger and you press the brakes, it takes you on an average about 4 seconds. The car will do that in 1 millisecond. So it's a split-second decision because it's all programs which work on very high-speed hardware. Okay, so doing things very fast is okay. In fact, that's where we say machines are better than human beings because they take in all the information and calculate very fast. Human beings take a lot of time to absorb the information, to decide, and to act. It's very, very, very slow. So we crash. But cars can, if they know for sure what to do, they'll be 1,000 times faster and safer. But now, whether we choose this side or that side, if you hit this side, you'll kill 10 people. If you hit this side, you'll kill one person, or you might injure the passenger. Which to decide? Now that's an unsolvable problem. We human beings cannot solve those problems. We cannot expect AI to solve those problems. Remember, AI is learning from the human values. Means there is no divine solutions to all our problems through AI. Only God can solve them, not we. Okay? I don't know whether I've answered your question. Yeah. Okay, I think thank you very much for your patience and we'll stop here. Thank you.
What an inspiring and thought-provoking session. Sensei, Anthony Arigato. Gozaimasu. On behalf of St. Aloyius University, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed keynote speaker, Gonzalez. Your words have motivated us, leaving a lasting impact. Thank you for taking the time to share your wisdom with us. Your insights have given us a fresh perspective and much to reflect upon as we move forward. I request Dr. Roshan Soares to present a memento to our esteemed guest, Professor Tad Gonzalez, as a token of gratitude. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you all for your attentiveness and engagement throughout the session. Your enthusiasm and curiosity truly made this talk more meaningful and impactful. Dear fellow mates, let's take a 10-minute break to recharge. Tea has been provided in the refreshment area.